big performances, even by Elam and these big well-known music brands from Slovakia and Czechoslovakia. So they have built this place, and it counts the area where we are now, which is owned by us, is about 12,000 square meters, which is 1.2 hectare. So it's not that huge, but there is a lot of buildings. And they build up a lot of buildings. So the total area of the buildings is nearly even more than 2,000 square meters of the floor. So it's quite a lot. I bought this place, me personally, with my family, back in 2008, and at that time I really didn't know why I'm buying it. I bought it because of business. At that time, it was before the financial crisis, and people were building some apartments and so on and so on. We had some free money, and we bought this, and we thinking that okay, we buy it and sell it with high profit. And but what happened that 3 months after we bought this place, there was a financial crisis, and so we get stuck here. So it was not it was such a situation. I was living completely different life that time, yeah. And even I was trying to to looking what is it all, and what is the next thing I should do in my life. I was now I remember that I also attended your permaculture event. I think it was in 2009 or so, 2010. But that time I was just getting inspired. So it's something interesting and something new. So and then in 2012 my situation changed. That I decided because I was inspired by some people, and I was at that time I was living in Nitra, which is a city in Slovakia. I had house, car, everything what I could imagine at that time, but I wasn't satisfied. So I was inspired by some people, and I was looking for some places where I can relocate, so to Zaježova, Krupina, looking for some new, new home, yeah, for me and my family. And after some time, I realized that we own Lovinka, this place which we were thinking, okay, we just sell it and that's it. And in 2012, I decided to move here. Yeah, it was such a very strange move because something changed in my head, and I was like, oh, I come here and I had seen a pure I would say vision, yeah, that I should move here, and nobody was able to stop me, and so I'm here, yeah. And that time, this place looked, it looked completely different, so it was very abandoned, so no one was living here for 15 years. Actually, there was living maybe one guy. He was like a strange guy, and
was his name Geza?
But his name was Kovac. Yeah, it was. I have heard since then. I heard a lot of rumors about this place. What was all happening here? Because actually, I was here in this area. I was first time in my life when I was buying this place. so it was a really very. It was not like I observe, I check. I just bought it. Yeah. So, but when we moved here. I lived in this house, which is over there, but you can imagine it was completely, done in not renewed, 8 or 6 centimeter thin walls. Yeah, we came here for winter with my wife and 3 kids. Yeah, and I was feeling like, yeah, this is my dream. Yeah, so And all people around me were thinking I'm mad. I'm happy they didn't put me in some special hospital for healing. Yeah. So yeah, this was the beginning. Yeah, this was the beginning. Yeah. Of course, that since I moved here, I was really inspired by all the alternative people and whatever alternative they were doing. So we went through some up and downs here at Lovinka. So we had some even now some psychedelic phase. Yeah, so we had done a lot of healing and luckily that we recognized what we are doing, yeah, and we decided not to continue this way in the ways we decided to change our minds, yeah, and we went also through a phase of building like community, like oh hey come here, everybody's welcome, uh, yeah, this was also such a phase which influenced us, and now we are going, last year we went through a phase that we wanted to sell this place, yeah. So it was like too much for us, and especially in the winter, because winter times are really, tough sometimes, yeah, when everything is like dark and all these energies. So um, there were some buyers as well, but at the end we didn't found a place, so we didn't know what to do if we sell this place, where we go, yeah, so so there was no other option for us, and then we decided, okay, that we go into because in the meantime we had done a lot of renovations, and we focused in this time mostly on the buildings, yeah, buildings, structures, yeah. So when I moved here, I was alone with my wife and family. Then some people coming here and stay for 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, and we build up some structures to accommodate people first, and then we started to organizing some events. Yeah, so Lovinka is now most known for the I mean some events what we are what are happening on our place, and we also started some I don't maybe farming or gardening, yeah. So with where we try to include all these permaculture principles, but I think the permaculture is so huge, so it covers everything, like from buildings up to mindset, gardening. So we are very big fans of permaculture, but some aspects of them are really, we are like newbies, absolute newbies to this, and into some aspects we are like what we are talking about. Yeah. So that's why I'm very happy that there are so many experts here in one place. Yeah, so I can maybe get some information from you. um, Now at Lovinka, we are in a phase since last year that because of people like this place very much, and we are their lives their lives permanently 10 elders plus like 5 kids, yeah. So this is like permanent inhabitants of Lovinka. Of course, some people sometimes are leaving and coming in, but we were never working, or I was never, we were never forming such a community where even we were inspired to form some sort of community, but it never happened to us that we were able to join our forces and do something perfect together, because a lot of people felt that they are, because of that I was owner of this place, a lot of people felt that they are, let's say, here for 3-4 months, and it's not worth to plant a tree, because the tree will then stay there and I will have to leave, and so on and so on. But it happened that we decided to start selling some parts of the land and some parts of buildings to the people who like this place and want to live with us. And so since beginning of this year, we are in this process, and there are already, I'm not saying we are already more owners of the Lovinka. Maika, the girl, she cooked for you. She is the owner of one house, and also there are some other people who are buying one flat from us, and they all. It doesn't mean that only they buy the house. We are forming such a joint land ownership, or I would say this way. Yeah. So the land we have, we put into special I would say maybe company or something like that, and each of us has some share there. So we're trying to build up some little, I call it little village, yeah, of Lovinka, which is characterized that we live very close to each other, so like 10 meters. Yeah, you will see how the buildings are, and we can share some knowledge, share some work, share some share some economy, and share meals, and develop us ourselves this way. Yeah. So also in some short time will join us one lady, friends of us. She's very she lives across the mountain, but she's coming here very often, and she's very big fan of permaculture. She's doing a lot of permaculture gardening. I had an idea, but to take you also to her garden, but now it happened that the deer eat everything, so there is nothing to say. So, but she will come and bring also some of her stuff she's developing or producing, yeah. And so during this little excursion, yeah, so I will show you some buildings, what we are, how is Lovinka like divided, where people where we are living, those who are like permanently living here, where are those people who are like on seminars. I will show you also the renovation of one house which is happening right now, yeah, from the old house which was like not really finished, but developed in back in 1970 to the something which is can be used for living. Now I will show you some beautiful places which were very close, because Lovinka is also characterized by, we are now in the wood. It looks like wood, but it was not. It wasn't wood. It was a area with a lot of oaks, and we are surrounded by maybe 1,000 old oaks, which is you may see the oaks very close, and I will show you some really nice places where we organize some jam sessions in really beautiful places. I will show you some. I will speak about some further development. What we plan to do here. I will talk to you about how we are like organizing ourselves a little bit. But this little bit is also a little bit because everything it's going slow here. Yeah, so it's we don't have. We have not been inspired by some communities around the world, or I don't know, Pachamama or many of these communities which are there for tens of years. In our area, we don't have a tradition of this that much. So we are learning on our own fails. So, and I would like to also know what are you interested in? Yeah. So because I won't show you some really special. But you have seen, you are going to different places, yeah. Each place is characterized by something different, yeah. So then you will able to see what is Lovinka, how Lovinka is characterized. And one also thing is that we work with we have, even if you might not see maybe that we work on some energies levels. We don't use, for example, we don't use some solar energies. Some of the things which we are not using are for the purpose, because if we want to use some of the things, we have to use a huge installations to make it for the purpose. So we are thinking, we are thinking also such a way that, you know, some people go for electricity cars right now. It's very big hype, to go into electricity cars. It's green energy, but it's also there is a big opposition about the electricity cars, because they say, okay, it's not possible. Sorry guys, so we don't have enough energy for that. So we don't have infrastructure. So it might look, some things might look really cool, but we only try to go for things which we are able to survive on some long term, and we have also the resources to do it, because Lovinka is a private project. I would say we don't have so far we don't have some substitutions from other some sponsors and organizations to show some for example, do this kind of excursions. So this is for me one of the first excursions which we are doing in this term. Okay, so now I told you very briefly about Lovinka, also about the events which are happening now, which are happening mostly here. It's at the moment it's structured such a way that people coming here, the teachers are mostly renting this place, and they come up with their students. So it's not like a traditional. On some places you might see that the people from the community organize the events for the people, but so far there was a very little community, or we were not structured. So we organize the jam sessions, we organize some events, we call it like events for our friends which are coming, and we have something is happening here. But in most cases, people these teachers are renting this place. And they are our friends, but it works such a way that we give them this place. And you want to ask them?
Yes. Are you booked long in advance?
Yes, 1 year advance. Nearly.
Sorry?
Nearly 1 year in advance.
So if I want to book for some event, I have to wait for 1 year?
No, actually, there are also some halls, especially for example in the winter time where you can book. But we are booked until, for example, until January. But the summer is nearly booked fully, but it always happens that some people, they book even 1 year in advance, and then 1 month before they cancel it. So it's not even maybe sometimes the best to be booked 1 year in advance. So, and we also work such a way that we sometimes refuse. Or we tell people, okay, we don't like this event that much, so please don't come next time. Sometimes, especially we have done it with the events which were very much focused on some energetical work. I mean, if we had there were last year, for example, people coming here from all around the world to do some tantric ceremonies, and this if you had experienced this, it involves a lot of energy, a lot of lot of release. So people after 2-3 days, 4 days here, they feel like like flying, a little bit about the ground. But the thing is that also that they fall very hard sometimes after the ceremony is finished, after they come back to their families and to the work, and after the shaman leaves Slovakia and goes for another business, So that we say, okay, we don't go this direction, we don't allow this. So we rather work with people who work slower, but continuously, and so this kind of really strong ceremonies this time is over. Yeah? But I'm not saying anything against that. Yeah, but to us it was even also hard. You can imagine that there's like 20 people like crying, like very strong. You know, Lovinka is crying. It's really has some effects about on the surrounding. Yeah. So, but mostly people coming for yoga, for some meditation events, for the healthy lifestyle, healthy living. For we have a fasting sessions every month. We have also in parallel two events sometimes. So this is all kinds of people like these are work. We had hosted plenty of types of sessions. Yeah.
How many people you can accommodate?
Yeah, we can accommodate in this standard as you are about 36 people. Yeah, but also it depends on how they want to use this room, because this room is not, for example, if they want to exercise yoga, it's about 22 people maximum. Yeah. If they want to do something else, we had also sessions with 30-40 people. So.
And this is the place together. This room is.
Yeah, this is our largest room at the moment. Yeah, so we had some ideas of building something larger, but we are not sure if we want to go this direction, because it's one thing is to like we can build something for 60 people, but we have on one way is the balance that this is the place where we are living, and the second is there are guests coming. Yeah, so it's not appropriate. Probably we will not in this direction. So we still don't know how it will end up. I mean, how it will be in 20 years, for example. But there is a space, as I calculated, it can be that this will become some kind of village with about 20-25 people, yeah, living, and it can also stay such a way as it is now, that there will be maybe 12 people and a lot of people coming for the events. We are not really sure how it will end up, but we consider both of these options. Yeah.
Where the name Lovinka comes from?
Lovinka name comes from it's a interesting name, but especially the the elderly people here in the area, they don't call it Lovinka, they call it Lovenka. Lovenka, not from love.
Not from love, yeah.
Not from love, but from lovet. Lovet means like hunt.
Quite opposite.
But they were like people say here lovet. It was used for hunting. There is a lot of wild animals around us.
Yeah,
so maybe even in the evening you have seen some deer everywhere.
The morning also I
When
have
driving
some
a car,
deer.
we've seen quite a lot.
Yes. So that's this is some. So this is the answer to the question, but because of the fact that the whole area is not only like Lovinka, like this place. The Lovinka is called the area. Yeah, so I didn't give the name to the geographical name to the place.
It was name of the village?
No, it was name of the area.
Oh, the area.
Area. The whole, I would say, this area is called Lovinka, but next to us, about 200 meters, is an archaeological site.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it, so it's interesting because it's more than 3,000 years old. The people, it's like burned. It's like not graveyard, maybe graveyard, but the people were burning dead people, and there are a lot of graves.
Pottery.
Yeah, exactly. And also there is another place. It's called like Strieborna Mountain, which is like there was a fortification, old fortification, and the people who were doing the archaeological examinations here. They told me that 3,000 years this area was really inhabited like it is, like villages everywhere, and it was very similar to it as it is right now, but just people were living like different lifestyle.
Yeah.
A
little bit different.
Little bit different, yeah. But what we are very happy about is that we try to live also in balance with all the other people around us. I mean the people in the village, with the hunters, which are like quite high population of hunters here. So we try not to be in conflict.
But it's a good source of meat, isn't it?
Pardon me?
Good source of meat.
For vegetarians.
So it's a kind of we try to be somehow going around and see what's happening. Yeah. If it's necessary, we can stand a strong line, but if it's not necessary, we are not going into conflict. So makes no sense. Yeah. Because each conflict makes you know, if you make a pressure, it makes another. So depends on the capacity of the person. Yeah. So we don't dictate that you have to be vegetarian. There are also meat eaters. There are vegetarians. There are, you know, all kinds of people. There are on our earth. There lives a lot of species. Each of us is different. So each of the people is different, and some people need that, some people need that. And also here we are not a farmers community. Yeah, I'm a marketing manager for my origins. So I like to do something with deep in the earth, but I'm also only learning myself, and I'd like to sometimes like to be very inspiring. Yeah, we do this, but then when we do it, I can't you know, maintain these things, so it has to be maintained by other people. So that's what we are also learning, how each person can serve another person, because at the end sometimes it's very complicated. In the beginning we had a tendency that we are here together, we do things together, we sleep together, we do everything together, but it doesn't work long term. Yeah, so we have to be very careful and we try to get very good organized how we even do the things even here at Lovinka. Some people have a tendency, I need 1 hectare, 5 hectares, 100 hectares at least. Yeah, I say for us even this 1 hectare is a lot. so I can imagine what you can, if you are really focused, what you can do on 100 square meters. Yeah, when you, so you can imagine that what you can do this and this place with this opportunity. But I'm very grateful that we have this opportunity to have this land and have this building, and don't have to how to say it. We don't have to pay some loans, and we don't have to be under pressure from somebody. You have to do this way and that way and so on. So we can be here. We can experiment. We can focus on what we are doing. But we have to be also very to be very focused on the things what we are doing, because for example last year we had an accident here, so one of the houses nearly burned, and only because the lady there, and it was also a tantric seminar, and people sometimes are very hot, so and if they are very hot, they don't think. Yeah, so that's problem. And she took out the coal from the last day and put it somewhere on the wood, and it started burning. So yeah, this sometimes happens, and we have to observe, and that rather is to work with some people who are calm and instead of hot. Yes. So during our excursions, I will show you some how we do start. So I haven't done it. A lot of concrete. you can see, everywhere is concrete. So it's not. We are not. First, when I came here, I will take all the concrete away. So, but it's a lot of hard. So now I plan to put here some graveyards. Yeah. So grapes. Wait, no, not graveyards. Sorry. to plant the grapes here because we are in location where grapes are really okay, and this concrete can help the grapes. Yeah, definitely. So with the heat. Yeah. And the same with the figas, that you see that we have figas here. And, yeah, and you can we have to put them into different. I think this is good place because there is a south is over there. Yeah, there is a east. Yeah, and it's kind of it's blocked from the winds from the north. And this one we had. It's not. Maybe it will be not. You can taste it. Yeah, but this is already second round. Yeah. So we had. Who wants to taste? This one is not it's not that sweet, maybe. But we had these big figs here, and they were really sweet.
And you don't cover it for winter. It stays like this in winter.
This we don't cover, but this is already first time this size. Yeah. Because in Nitra we had a very huge figure, but it was frozen. So we will see how to handle it if it's so huge. So I want to see the location, how it goes with in the winter. If it will be too cold, we maybe cover it, but for the night. This is 1 year old. Actually, it's older.
So already survived one winter, yeah?
It survived. It survived. This winter it survived because also that one survived. If it won't survive, it won't have the. It will go from the ground, but it will not have.
Not blossom.
So. How do you treat all the wastewater? Wastewater, yeah. Wastewater is very simple here because this was built in the old style, meaning that we have waste water, sewage, and it's over there. Yeah. So septic. Meaning that
You mean the tank without the bottom? Or
no, it's with a bottom, but there is also the tube where the water leaks away, but it goes through the whole. There is a tube which goes through the whole. Cez túto celú lúku, some 200 meters away. And the thing is that at that time they used the tubes which were made of stone, to sa volá keramický materiál, hej? Kamenina. And this material has a tendency that it leaks away from that. So it disappears in the ground. Yeah, it disappears in the ground. But we try to work such a way that even a lot of people coming here, that we try to promote the use of non-chemical, cleaning stuff and so on. So I believe it's not like a toxic waste dump. It's more like I would say some organic, much more organic or much higher percentage of organic waste. So if it leaks in the water, it doesn't go into any stream. It just disappears in the ground. Yeah, mostly. Yeah, but of course 2 times a year comes the car and takes the solid parts again. Right? So, but what they do with that.
yeah, what they do? They just put it.
What they do is that they put it on another field.
Yeah.
I'm going to help Johnny. So okay. so that happens here. Yeah. But yeah.
That is not concentrated on one place then. you have splashing toilets?
Yes, we have splash toilets everywhere. We were trying also, we were thinking of building some other types of toilets, but people coming here, in our house it was not, actually in one house we had the different compost type of toilet, but also the people inside of the house said okay they would rather have splash type of toilet. And the water we have here is the stream. We are connected. We have a wheel, but the wheel is a special type of wheel, which is not like a deep wheel somewhere, but it's next to the spring or to the stream. So well. Sorry, well. Okay. So the water the stream goes from the mountains, and the well is like 7 meters away from the of the stream, and under the stream is much more water than on the in the stream. Yeah. So this is very strong well, so it can be exhausted in some. No, not even in
For years and years it will last.
Yeah, it will last for years, yeah, because we need a lot of water. It comes here, for example, 30 people, yeah. So we need a lot of water. Of course, we also keep water. For example, here we have we use this kind of. Here we have the water tank.
Can we follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me. Peter. So actually, this is the area. So if you go here. So these were 4 houses here, like this. They look like the same, and these houses were not finished. They were remained in the state of like holodom, we call it. Yeah, meaning something house which is not fitted. There was no electricity, there was no water, there was nothing in these houses. Yeah, so I decided to move to this one house. But I have to renew it completely, and this part, which is in front of us, it was built additionally. So this is built. This part is built from the straw bales, yeah, and it's really good. And for the other parts, which we are isolating, we use the first pillar, which is like reed. It's 5 centimeters strong reed, which we put isolation, which we put on the wooden panels, and then we put the clay plasters on it. Yeah, the clay is mostly from this area because the soil here is very strong on. There is very high content of
Is it rubber? Or some other material?
clay? No. Okay. So there is a very high content of clay, and we have the area. The field was like the hill. Yeah. So we tried to build such a little, terrace. Yeah. So there is one terrace, another terrace, third terrace. So the area how it looks now is we have done it this way.
Tell us a bit about your experiences with building with hay. Straw, sorry.
Experiences with building the straw. So it was quite. That time there lived Lovinka lived one guy who is a builder of organic houses. Yeah, and. He had done he has already a lot of experience in the past, so it was not a big deal. The major problem we had is that we work also with the people from the village who like
and they don't like the organic angles. Yeah, so they like this type of angles, like 90 degree angles. So it was kind of tricky, for example, to explain that we want to build the wall in to be like curved and not to be like straight. Yeah? And we had a really good experience. What we didn't manage well, in my opinion, is that we tried to use also the organic, a lot of organic materials, but we had the problems with organic wool, from sheep wool, because we didn't manage to clean it properly, and it became, after some years, it not stinky, but it became with moles. So how is like
Butterfly.
yeah, yeah. So and that a time after okay, we applied also some sprays with borax and with some soils on it, but it didn't help. And what I learned only after years, that was of course during this our hippie area, that we do it everything like we want, yeah. And that time we didn't know, for example, that it has to be left in the, it has to be first very perfectly washed, yeah, cleaned, and it has to be also, it can't be put in a place where it can become like humid little bit. Even it has to be like very well
Insulated.
not insulated.
The wind should go through.
Yeah, wind should go through. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, and so it happened that after some time we had to open some ceilings and, you know.
Where did you put the wool?
Where we did put the wool afterwards?
No. Where it was?
Under the roof.
Under the roof?
Yeah, on the roof in some houses. Yeah. So we had to take it away because of the moss. And well, I know there are some techniques where you apply a lot of chemicals, but it, you know, makes no sense. Yeah.
Do you treat the outside of the plasters, or you leave it just natural?
We leave it natural. Depends on, for example, here where we leave it natural. Yeah. But even there, you can see that.
No, I mean this.
Yes, but
So there's no treatment. You don't get the side wind.
No. There is no treatment. Of course, you might see that sometimes you get something there, but there is no treatment. Only here, there was a problem that because this is not functional at the moment, because this is not finished yet. So it should, the water
came
goes
there.
in a different. It doesn't go on the chain, but it goes. So sometimes the drops are coming here. Yeah. So it started after, but it took also 2 years. So it had appeared here some little, you know, issue, but we fixed it, and I had to put something here. So. So far, I'm quite okay with the even if it was not treated with some material, and if I should treat it with some, I don't know, oils or some maybe vápená omětka.
So was it just wooden? Bylo to jenom ze dřeva původně taky? A vy jste to oplaceli?
No, this is from the store balls.
A to je nové, jo.
So this is new from the store balls. Yeah.
So that the house in the middle was the same like the
it's
others,
only
and
wooden.
this
It's like
part
this,
is new.
exactly like this. We will see. We can go inside this one house.
And
I think that the level of the soil should be maybe higher for this area, because it's really, during the summer, it's really dry. Yeah.
And
but,
there is very less soil. It's mostly stones, no?
Yes, but this is company which really special. It's made from tuff, you know. The soil amount is very low there, and it's made from the tuff. Tuff is has very good absorption possibility. Yeah.
So in order to not to get high blood and to maintain the humidity.
Yeah, but you can get a lot of this, you know, and it survives. Yeah, if you don't mean to have like green,
Yes, it will cover everything.
but it's perfect. And also this material is really perfect. You maybe know it. It's from caoutchouc. It's a like Yeah, and it's very strong. It lasts for 50 years, and it's also economical, so you can buy it for some good money. The problem with the roof is that it has to be calculated for a little higher weight, yeah, because if there is even 5 centimeters of soil with some water, it's like 50 to 100 kilograms per 50 kilograms per square meter, yeah, extra. So, but it looks good, and it's also perfect for the isolation. Yeah.
So it's very warm.
Warm?
Yes. No, I mean it
Yeah,
isolates.
It's
the
good
warmth.
isolation. Yeah, good isolation.
You don't lose the warmth.
Yes,
through this,
exactly. You don't lose that much warmth. Yeah, with this type.
Viete, možno by stačilo, že trošku predsa len tam prisypeš kompostu. Že
Yeah.
trošku výživy tomu
Hey.
dodať.
So we haven't put it's here for 3 years, and actually I telling we will maybe have to take care of it a little bit.
You're getting for free, so listen. This is the tip you're getting for free, so listen.
Okay, sure. So,
Že iba zoberieš to, čo sa ti
No.
ujalo a rozhoď to.
hey,
Vieš, že
is this like hey? Tak to rozhádať, no? Jasne.
Oberať, rozhádzať a trošku kompost tam presypať. To sa zase nič neudeje, hlavne strašne, keď tam dáš centimetr kompostu.
No jasné, to môžeme skúsiť spraviť, hej. Nejaké veci do dať tam.
This is for 3 years. It's really going very slow. So maybe just to spread, to have more plants, to take them and to grow them.
Yeah.
That's the way it is planted, and put a little bit, maybe 1 centimeter of compost on top, just to have
But
to do.
the thing is that we found that 1 year it when it was really hot, yeah, it dry. A lot of things dry. Yeah. Yeah, that was the 5 centimeters.
Have you had any problems with the mice in the straw ball?
No, so far.
But actually, it's not straw bale. Inside is a wooden frame. Yes,
There is a wooden frame, yeah.
Wooden
but
frame.
only frame.
only frame. But the walls is made with compacted straw.
Yeah. Actually, you can see here, for example. Other house, but the size is like this. Yeah, so it's like for the straw ball.
And what is the distance between one hole and another?
From the frame?
Yeah.
I think it was designed so the 2 straw balls fit inside. Yes, two straw balls. Yeah. But it's so far we had no problems with this. Yeah, so it was okay. And this is another. This is this reed. Yeah, this is
Reed and just plastic.
Yes, exactly.
Look at it. Reed?
Reed, yeah, I will show you. Rakus. From Hungary.
Okay,
Hungary.
We have a lot of reed.
This one is actually it's a lot of there is a lot of this clay inside, but we at the moment for the clusters we are thinking another one. Yeah. Not from here, it's quite close. Yeah, it's put in the water, and if you do it with either you do it on the basic one is done with a stronger. Actually, with this one. With a stronger sand, yeah? And if you do the fine clays, it's done with the sulfur. You can see that here the side will go from
Це да.
А таке можна в Україні купити таку штуку?
Таку, да. Є.
А як вона називається? Ізоляція? Те, що ось ямки є, це допомагає
But of course, that we don't. In some cases, we use some only the traditional materials, but here it's.
So inside is a beton.
This is kind of beton, yeah, maybe.
Beton.
Yeah, beton. Yeah. But for example, at my home I have only wood, and Maika, she wants also this material. It's not a problem. The issue, I don't know if you know the theory of this ion fields, how they work in what is the problem with the plastic materials. Yeah, if you go outside, for example, if you are in a forest, our body has a tendency that we feel very good where there is a lot of negative ions in the air. Yeah, and all these materials, they are electric current goes through it. Yeah, if you put plastic materials only, then the electric current doesn't go to it, and for example, inside of buildings, like standard buildings, there is, for example, 100 or 200 ions per square centimeter or cubic centimeter, but in the outside there is 3,000, 4,000, yeah. And people, it's really there was a lot of scientific research according to this, and even in the, for example, the caves, there is a lot of these negative ions in some places, and it's because of the radon which appears there in the lakes, yeah. And people feel really energized if they're in a high ion area. This is also with the pyramids in the forest and everywhere. So this is very important, not to put some plastic or some materials which doesn't
Let the ions go through.
exactly. Yeah. So that's important. Yeah. But the issue is not the. So natural materials are quite important, yeah.
So here is the mesh on it only.
Yeah, this is only the mesh and
the recipe of this plaster, just clay, maybe some sand and water.
Yes, exactly.
That's it.
Yes, there is nothing inside, and only if you put in some cases you put some straw inside. Sometimes you put some straw, but we don't put anything else. And also the mesh is from usually it's from glass or something like that.
But do you have an experience just to like from the outside to put the straw and then to plaster? Will it be better or worse?
It's done also this way, yeah. So you put
More insulation.
Yes, for the isolation.
Clay
Yeah.
is not isolation, the clay itself.
Clay, it's little isolation, but isolation is only, the clay is 3 centimeters, and the clay itself is like stone, I would say. Maybe it's better for the isolation, but stone itself is not isolation, yeah? So you have to put something, and the straw itself is isolation, yeah? So that's very good. And so this house will be divided into 2 parts, yeah, 2 apartments, I would say. One is a top apartment, second apartment, and of course the one issue we will be probably not able to manage here is the acoustic, acoustic, because it's done a way which is done, yeah. So acoustics. It goes through all the construction, and if somebody is, let's say, living up there, if we even put some isolation here, it's not soundproof. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but it will be heated from the wood. Yeah, but the wood out also only from this place. Up there are radiators. I mean that there is
this heater. We are thinking also in some places we use this. I will show you another building where we use this. We have this heavy stove, yeah. But she decided to use this type of stove which heats also the water. Yeah.
Do you think it will be enough for this house?
For this house, we ask that guy. Či to bude dostatočné na tento dom? Yes, it will be. Even it's wooden house. That's one important thing. A wooden house means that it cools. It doesn't. Okay, this has like capacity of 15 kilowatts to the water and 5 to the air. And for example, for my house, you know, these houses are not well isolated if it's built from the straw balls or from something I don't know else at the moment. But what is important, the windows were all changed, and this she bought old windows, wooden windows, just renovated them, painted and so on. So it's very important. In my house, I left old windows, and it doesn't work. It was a little mistake. So I believe that it will be okay for this house with this stove. And also the clay itself has a capacity to, if you use it with wood, it has some energetical capacity. It keeps the warm inside if you put it from inside. Yeah. So we can show. I can show you. I'm not sure how it's going to be this house. Measurement tool. It's a scientific measurement tool, which is really, and you can really measure the places. And I would like to make some tests also in our buildings. And there is also possibility if you even work with some materials which are plastic materials, yeah, there is even such a possibility to correct it, but it has to be, for example, connected to the earth and with some wires and so on. But people feel better, and I feel for example, I'm able to go to Bratislava for 2 days at the moment. So I'm not able to, I'm so disturbed with everything what's happening there. So I like it there, but here I feel like different. Yeah. So
This is a place to live. It's a place
exactly,
to survive.
exactly. I can show you another house, which is the first one which we built in Lovinka. And this is what we call community house.
And where is your wife?
Pardon?
Kde máš ženu?
Dole.
Ale doma je?
No doma je. Ale tam bola teraz aj. So this is the community house. It's not a house where I live, but this is how we can go from other side probably. This is house where people coming for some stay.
Survival.
But they usually, some people come for a few months, but usually they stay much longer. For example, Maika, she stayed here for 3 years.
Is it also for volunteers? Or?
In some cases, yes, but usually we don't have, enough space. So you can come in because I explained. Hello.
Don't want
You
to.
can come in, but I can show you some places here. But it's so this is the house we built for people coming in Lovinka, and it's a shared house where people share this common place. It's like kitchen, and there are 4 rooms up there, and they can stay in the rooms. Yeah, so they have kind of like their own privacy, little privacy. And with these shared facilities. And
how much you charge for a night?
We don't charge for a night, we charge for a month. Yeah, and it's like for small room is €100 per month, and for the larger room is 120.
Small room is for 2 people or 1?
2 people can fit in,
One
but the
person.
small room is like maybe 9 square meters.
Okay.
So you can imagine there are four rooms. But The thing is that the people who are staying here in this house are for us some kind of like cornerstone for what we are doing here. Yeah, I mean that in the beginning it was such a way that anybody can come here and like live like in a hotel, hostel and so on. But now we are much more focused on that people come here also help us and we can grow together and build together. Also Maika, she decided to buy that house. She lived here for 3 years, and before that she lived in a community of Sekier for 3 years. It's one of the communities in Slovakia. So here it's self-managed by the people over here. Yeah. So when they come into the community, first they come into the community of this house. And there is a larger community of Lovinka, so it's my family, it's Maika, and we have another house where we have 2 flats. Yeah. So for the spaces we have like a lot of houses, and this house you can see it's the same in the way it's the same house as Maika's house. Yeah, down there, the same building, but it's down in a little bit different shape. Yeah, we also here have the Porak. Heater? No. Stove. This one is combined with it heats also the water. Yeah, this one, and this is the heavy stove. And this heavy stove we use only when it's like freezing, it's -10 or so, because otherwise we find out that this is like extra super dimension, but it's really strong, and we don't. No, I think maybe you can, but.
And the people who stay here, they are supposed to do some work or just build a community. So what is the intention for them to live there?
Yeah, so the thing is that in the beginning, when we build up the first idea was building up the community. So everyone coming here was supposed to work for some 2 hours a day. Yeah, so. After some time I heard of this like slavery works at Lovinka. So it was funny, yeah, to hear that because the thing is that people, if they have to work and it's not well organized, explained and so on, they can consider they have to, yeah. So it's like so then I realized it. Okay, you don't have to work and so on, and now it's like. Beginning again to be much more organized in terms that you don't have to work, you don't have to contribute, but then you don't have to be here, yeah, at some point, yeah, but it has to be coming from your
natural,
little bit. That's much better approach than coming somewhere and you have to be much
so practical people who stay here now, they do work and it's their own intention?
Yes and no. This yes means that it's on their own intention, but no means that you can't just leave them and to do the work, because it might easily happen that they will not find the time. Yeah, you understand what I mean? No? Yes.
Do they work? Do they have their own job somewhere?
Yes. Most of the people, yes, have their own jobs. Yeah.
Tell us the truth.
Like.
I'm a photographer. And I'm living here and doing my photography.
A lot of people need impulse.
And also, how do you contribute to this community?
Like in a family. So when there's something that needs to be done, I know about it because I heard about it and I'll do it. Or not just myself, but we make an agreement when we can do some part of work and do it together, or I make just my part of the work and do it when I've got the time to do it.
To contribute with your just free hands, or with your money, or with your time, or with your skills?
Time. Most of the time. Yes.
And time. Now she's doing some photographs for us.
So with it to share her knowledge, her skills.
And can I ask you what is your intention for future? Like you would like to stay here for a while and then move on, or you are looking for?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And you are Gen Europe member. You are on the map of Gen.
I think no.
But we found you on the map. I think.
Okay, so then we are there.
Nie, oni są na WUF. Oni są na WUF mapę.
We are on Eco Village.
Oh,
And it's a gem.
Eco
Yes.
Village, yeah.
But
Maybe you're not officially a member, but you are on the map of Gen
because
Europe, not Gen International.
exactly. I found this place some 4 years ago. Then I put there some data, but I didn't update the data since then. So
Because we found you thanks to this map.
yeah, that's perfect. So, but I'm telling you that this building of community is not something like we can do, and here is a plan how we do it, and because it goes through our own experience, yeah. And for example, what I found that it's very important that in each community or in every like this eco village or small community should be one person, or maybe more person, maybe one person that has a strong vision, yeah. That this vision is my vision. I invite you to join my vision, yeah. And then if there is like a lot of discussions about the vision, because there are many strong leaders who everybody contributes with how vision, it has tendency to drop into different vision, into split. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So we were a lot of we were discussing here in the past a lot of things that how we want to approach the community building. That everybody has to tell exactly what he wants to do, and everybody has to do it when he wants to do, and so on. But this is not functional in the long term, because we cannot work this way. So in many cases, lot of these very big and nice projects is built on the one despotic leader who is having this big vision and sharing this big vision with all the people who can contribute with him with this vision. That's really the truth, how I feel it also. And obviously there can be a lot of discussions and arguing about these things, but what is showing me that if I'm not, for example, the one who stands behind this vision of the Lovinka and telling we do this way, and also give impulses to the people who, for example, I understand that people, they want to have their own freedom, they want to have their own way of living, yeah. They want to have their own be able to express themselves and so on, but also I understand that way thing that I have to explain to people what I need from them, and if they tell me, but I want to tell it live it different way, I'm able to give them the freedom to live. Yeah? So that's the way.
Let them get a new Lovinka their own way.
Of course. So many, but we were like going through these points and discussing, and sometimes it's complicated.
No, it leads to nothing.
Yeah, many times it leads to nothing. Yeah.
Discussions are.
Discussions are good, but we don't have that much time. Yeah? So sometimes. I can imagine that there were native people living in their own villages, and they had this they were working on the consensual level on some ways, as I heard, yeah. So it's different principle if you are living there from your childhood, yeah, and you can really take some decision in 1 year. It doesn't mean, but if there is some decision that has to be taken in minutes, the leader of the village makes the decisions and it's done. It's this way. So very simple. Yeah, the isolation over here, you can see from here, if somebody comes here, you can see the leaks.
Okay.
Where the yawns coming from. So there is some...
Сюди підійди, якщо ти не бачиш. Он зверху, ось сюди.
А, да.
But even here in this house, we can really maintain with not much wood. Yeah, it's
How cold is it in winter?
how cold is
Normally.
it, maybe sometimes up to -20. Sometimes
Inside?
no. Flats, and one of the flats we are selling now, the top flat, and the bottom remains for the rental. But it's also the people coming here are coming for the long term, I mean 1 year, 2 years, and so on. Yeah, so that's we found out it's not really that good for us if some people coming for the short terms. Yeah, because in that way it's more like they're coming for some events. Yeah, better. And I can show you now. We have some samples over there. It's like it tastes like apple, like baked apple, but it has to freeze a little bit. So yesterday I took some of them which were fallen and put them into freezer. If it works, I don't know. Yes. Maybe it's helpful. Maybe it will work. So and this is another very interesting.
Ну, шмула. Ну, але я її ще тільки посіяла. Я ще рослиною не садила. Ніколи не бачила її. Прикольно.
З насіння?
Так, да, я взяла 3 штучки з собою.
Sometimes I'm not expert into planting, you know. I'm just contribute little. Że nie są ekspertów na to właśnie.
Mam zapisane, nie pamiętam.
But we also work with water. Yeah? So you see that this is coming from the roofs. We have about 1, 2, 3, 5, I think 5 storage like this. Yeah, and we use this for the mainly for the watering of the plants and so on. In the past, we were
How do you water the plants with the can?
Yeah.
Automat?
No, there is no automat. We just put this here. Here is the. Yeah. At the moment, because the thing is that, as I told you, that we are not Maika. She lived on Sekir for some time, and she is the vehicle behind the farming at Lovinka, I would say at the moment. And I'm more like a marketing guy, but I also like work with soil, and I like to. My idea is that Lovinka will be like a heaven's garden with a lot of different types of plants, and it will look here like in Wonderland. But sometimes it's I'm not the one who can really plan it. I can see some locations, but I don't know what, for example, if I put here this plant and that plant and that plant, how they work the best together. Yeah. So for this we are also looking for experts to advise us. In the beginning, when we are settling the Lovinka, we work with Alenka Mojzešova. Maybe you know her. She was our advisor. Yeah. But I found also that some things that she advised us didn't work that way. Yeah? So because I found that it's very important to really maybe also stay the place and see the place and see how it works and so on. It really requires a lot of.
The big one.
Pardon me?
Peter, you have to go to the big course, the big one.
Okay.
Or we shall organize it here for you to learn.
Yes, sometimes. Maybe like this, yeah.
And to do the design during the course, so you understand it very well.
Is that the 1 year?
No, in Slovakia it doesn't take 1 year.
Yeah. This could be probably helpful because I've been really doing some designing, but I can't. I'm the phase of the maintaining is the most complicated for me. Yeah. I can plant it. I contribute the planting of most of this, but then if something is happening, I can. What's happening? I don't know what's happening. Yeah. There's
come after construction level. Yeah, we are in the process of. You can imagine that the Lovinka is like 6 years old project or 7 years old projects. It's not like it's a different level when we are here in 30 years and say, oh, it's like 40 years of experience is different than 6 years of experience. Yeah? So, and observing on all levels. Yeah, so you have. I can show you some other place. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Years ago, and since then, since the fall of communism, this area is not maintained, so this forest grow naturally. So we can find a lot of, for example, there are. The thing is that right now the oaks themselves, as you see, that they didn't get used to the fact that they are living forest at the moment. Yeah. So the bottom branches, they have a tendency to die, but it's a normal process. So
you're gonna leave it like that?
Actually, we already left the property of Lovinka, so we are in the urban area. Yeah. So we don't have influence at the moment here. Yeah, we only use this area.
Who owns it?
This is owned by the Commonwealth of some of the owners of the property. It's like we call it Urbar in Slovakia. Yeah. And yeah, exactly. But it's the problem with them is that they all live against each other all the time. So like standard, community in Slovakia. So everybody závidí, každý závidí každému a tak ďalej. But my ambition also is like big plan of Lovinka. It's not Lovinka because Lovinka is whole area. Is that we can in the future develop this area in such a way like managed jungle, I would say, because you can make some little meadows around the trees, and then you go to the forest. There will be some little well and this and that. You can imagine that for the walks it can be really beautiful area. Yeah, but we'll see if we have power to go into this project because this is a very huge project, but there is this potential. And if you know that everybody is speaking in Slovakia, a lot of people speaking about Dobraniva area.
I was telling people right now.
Yeah.
But I forgot the name of that forest.
Dobraniva?
Ale ten les tej Dobraniva.
I don't know how it's Gavurky, yeah, is the name of the forest. But when there was a friend of mine who is like ecologist and Michal Viesik, and he was here and said, okay, we have plenty of these locations like Gavurky. Gavurky is the most known because it's open, and but this place is also really beautiful. And if we can create such a project where we together with the Urbar, we try to manage this area for the people who are the kind of our customers from Lovinka, it can be really wonderful project of the European level, I would say. Yeah? He said also the European